Hi there, my name's Sam, and we have something a little bit different today. We are here with Ajay Loner, but we are not going to be playing him yet. We will be playing him next in the Strange View series, um, but his house is not yet furnished. Now, I did move him into this pre-made house, and it is pretty notorious for being such a bizarre layout and very difficult to kind of work with decoration wise and setting it up. It's just a little strange. I suppose it's quite appropriate for Strangetown, but I'm going to be doing a little speed decorating makeover of this house. Um, I thought I'd do just a quick little chat and looking at things before I mess with anything. Um, One of the notable features of this house is green carpet in the bathroom, which is very disturbing to me. I don't know. I know some places have some carpet in the bathroom. I don't quite understand that, but I mean, it's fine. But I probably will be changing that, definitely. Um, the walkway is very claustrophobic. I guess that's a good way to put it here. This is kind of interesting, but I kind of like it. It's kind of cool. They also have a nice up patio type, or not patio, like a deck up here. Also these are unfinished walls, which is very bad. Also the railing just kind of ends. That's great. um got some interesting things. I think the main thing I will change is I might change the walling in here a little, in some of the stairways. Everything else I'm going to try to keep at its basic bones, the basic shape, and see what I can do. The key is going to be finding something that seems like AJ would kind of suit him. Now, he is a very boring sim naturally. Um, I believe I was just looking at, oops, wrong button. I was just looking at his bio. It says that to pass the hours, AJ enjoys counting the grains of sand in his backyard. So that gives you an idea of what kind of sim he is. I think it's going to be very basic, but so I'm going to probably jump right over to a speed video. I might do some voiceover, but we'll see what we can do with one of the ugliest houses in Strangetown. All right, so here we are. Um, this house is. I had a really hard time with the exterior of this house, deciding exactly what I wanted to do. Um, in this video, I do a lot of kind of chopping up of, like I cut out any of the extra playing with walls and stuff so that it's not too annoying. I don't know. I'm sure some people have different preferences about wanting to watch that or not, but um, something to note in the background, I've put some music that is I actually pulled directly from the Sims 1 program files. I have the Sims 1 complete collection installed on my computer. And so I went in and grabbed a bunch of the MP3 files from the music section. And so that's what's kind of been thrown together in the background. It's all from like the radio music. So kind of neat. Yeah, I end up doing a lot of like messing around and not knowing what I'm doing. This house has such a weird shape, and the problem was it kept ending up very castle-like or something. If I did too much of the stone or I did too much of one thing, it kept getting very blocky. I didn't really want it to be that. I do end up using this half wall along the top. I use on a lot of houses. I really like, or I also use it a lot on like storefronts. I like how it looks to kind of top off the edge if you're not using a roof. The front fence is also strange. I wanted to keep the same style it already had because I found that kind of interesting. But at one point here, I think coming up, I jump and you'll see like suddenly it's like the house looks weird. Yeah, like yeah, I've jumped around a little bit because I was experimenting with colors and things, and it just kept like this looks very castle-like with the stone and stuff. I ended up keeping the green walling outside though. It's I don't know. But the key to kind of how I kind of work is just in sort of building anything or being creative at all is to just throw it down, look at it, and then change it and do it again. The fence that I just put up was kind of the aha moment. I really enjoyed that, and I knew that there was a wall that matched it, so I ended up keeping that kind of interesting stone. Reminded me of, there's a lot of like 70s era houses that have this weird like stone accent, like front or something, and that kind of sent me in that direction in general with the interior design, which is something I tend to fall into anyway, is going in the direction of something kind of retro feeling. These windows, I kept trying to do like a black theme originally to match the front, that front iron gate area, but then I end up just constantly changing it. I tried a green here, which I didn't end up keeping. Those apartment life windows are like a green tint. Obviously here I am changing them, but that was kind of a nice match and would be a good idea for something else in the future that I kind of am going to keep in mind. Was the green on green. I found it kind of humorous, the toilet in the triangular window. I wasn't planning on keeping the toilet there, but would have been kind of fun to do that. There's a very limited amount of tall single gates in the game. I ended up not even keeping one that I liked, or finding one that I liked, and so I didn't keep it. I just kind of cut a hole in the fence and said that's good enough. This that I'm using on here right now, if you're not familiar, is from Bespoke, or the Bespoke building set, I believe, which is by Honeywell. They're like a wall edge, and there was a piece that was of the roof above the walkway that was showing a weird edge, and I like to use that to cover up that sort of stuff. So those are really useful. I believe all that's on Mod The Sims. This back porch area went through a lot of evolutions. Changed a lot throughout this build. And I ended up, again, chopping out a lot that just wasn't worth seeing because it ended up being deleted anyway, kind of thing. But it was just like, because it's just such a weird, it's like, okay, I want to utilize this upper level, even though I ended up having a hard time figuring out what to even put up there. Because it's like AJ is just kind of a sort of simple, boring kind of person. Sim, I should say. And I don't know that he's not like some Don Lothario that's going to have a big, lounge on his roof. It's not really him. You'll see later that I do end up coming up with something simple for him. But I did try to keep him in mind the whole time building this. I ended up fighting with the windows a lot. Another thing I had a hard time deciding on. I really like these windows that I'm using right now, but they ended up not having a great tall counterpart. I wanted a floor, like a ceiling to floor for the front, like these ones that I'm using. And so I had a hard time kind of deciding. I tried these ones for a while that I'm putting in now, and I like those. One key thing I find about using Max's objects instead of custom content, which I've been trying to do a lot, is at least having some custom recolors of things that can help a lot. Also, putting down windows when you have move objects on is a pain in the butt, as you're seeing with me fumbling with these windows. I think I finally turned it off, but yeah, I really need to. I couldn't find any recolors for these windows. I actually went searching because I wanted to use them so badly, and I ended up later not using them because they didn't match some of the theme that I ended up with. But yeah, I need to learn how to do my own recolors. That's something I want to learn how to do. Is recolor stuff. So yeah, that's the exterior, and then we kind of are transferring into the interior here. I ended up kind of opening up the floor plan. You can see I ended up not doing a bathroom in that original place where the bathroom usually is. I turned that into a little office space, as you'll see, and putting the bathroom in sort of that little spare room. So here I am kind of defaulting to a very common thing that I tend to do, which is the panel wood walls. Now, for a second there, I don't know if anybody noticed, it was very quick, but they got dull. That was me turning off my reshade filter. And that's something to note while watching this, is I do have reshade on. I have a filter by, I believe it's Dread Pirate. They have a reshade set, preset is what it's called, really, not a filter, called We Fell in Love in October. I believe that's the name. And sometimes I alter the saturation level of it depending on how I feel, but I use that one a lot. So that's why these panels and the flooring look very vibrant, because it's boosting that sort of saturation and vibrancy. But yeah, I tend to utilize the wood paneling a lot because it's something that I'm very used to in real life. I live in the Northeast. It's a very common place to have lots of cabins with wood, or lodges and ski lodges with wood paneling and stuff that's all left over from the 70s era, where that became very popular. The Norwegian wood, as it was termed, often because it was a kind of a joking name for it being fake wood. Sometimes it was real wood though. But I'm very used to seeing that. And I tend to be a big fan of this floor that I've used, is using that sort of like a tile floor or a terracotta floor even. I'm a really big fan of that style. Quite a few years ago, I was pet sitting for somebody who had 6 horses and some dogs and stuff, and I was taking care of their house while they were away, and their animals, and they had a beautiful lodge up in the mountains, and it was more like a cabin type house, sort of, and it had this tile floor all through the kitchen and the living area and everything, and it was really beautiful. It was like really genuine, like ceramic, terracotta, whatever the heck, tiling, and I really loved that. I'm also a big fan of like southwestern, like a stucco house that has like the tiles and stuff. I really love doing that. One thing with this floor that I'm using in the game is it is not from the game. It is from another Sims game. I'll have to link this person below, but there's a person that I believe it's on Tumblr that does a bunch of conversions from console games and from like the stories games and stuff. So I don't recall which one this is specifically from. Some of them transfer really well, and some of them don't really. Some of them look kind of, the textures are kind of wonky. But I really enjoy using those because it's kind of like you're using the game objects, but you're getting to use some extra stuff from the other games, kind of thing. I use them a lot. I use a lot of, there's a lot of unique rugs available too. Gotta put in the little details. I like doing the outlets and the whatchamacallits, the I don't know what I said, switches. Ended up choosing to do the off-white color because I felt like that was a little bit more dated. That's kind of roughly what I was going for some reason. It doesn't really even match up with Strangetown, but that's just like my default. Let's decorate a house. Okay, it's gonna look like it's from the 70s now. That's how it goes. But one thing again, I was trying to think about, like, okay, I want to make this house unique and interesting, but also would AJ probably wouldn't have decorated this house himself like this. My guess is that maybe he bought the house with the furniture and it was already like that, and he's just kind of kept it like that. So I didn't go too crazy with detailing or Well, I was about to say I didn't go with too many plants, but actually I did at one point, so never mind. Um, uh, I think I kind of did still try to keep it a little bit simple for him. Um, One thing I did, I was thinking about, at one point I ended up putting some posters on the wall for AJ that I have these cool custom posters. They're kind of like Sims 4. Well, they're recreations of like classic horror movie posters, but using the Sims 4, which like Sim 4 Sims as models, which I'm not a huge fan of having pictures of the Sims 4 or Sims 3 Sims in the Sims 2, but they're really well done posters. I don't recall who they're made by again. I can probably look that up and put it either on the screen or in the description or something. But I wondered if AJ, being just kind of a chill dude, if he might be a movie guy. Like maybe that's like his thing, is he just likes to kind of chill out and watch a movie. I don't know. It seems like, I don't know that his hobby is film and literature. I could make it that, to kind of fill that in, but because that is an actual hobby in the game. So so one thing I did here was I used carpet to make a carpet, make a rug, I should say, instead of using the game rugs, because I have a hard time always choosing a game rug. It never really works as well, and I do end up changing that ugly yellow. It's always funny watching this back, like as I'm editing it, I'm like, why did I do that? What am I doing? At this point, I got frustrated and didn't like the doors anymore, so I chose different doors. And I tried to keep the black theme, but then I went all white themed, and so that's when I end up changing out all the windows and everything. Of course, that's something I tend to do, is just constantly change things, and then I never can make up my mind about anything. I tried a few different doors here, but I ended up going back to a door that is, again, from the bespoke building, one of the bespoke building sets or whatever, by Honeywell. Although I do really like this door. Another door I was thinking I would like to have recolors of, because it's a cool shape and stuff. That kind of futuristic one. And this area, I like this fencing. It's like actually called a corral fencing. It's like a custom fence. A lot of the fencing I usually only get from Mod The Sims. Seems to be a good place for that stuff. But I ended up kind of filling in a little plant spot here. Again, I thought maybe it was something that was left there by the previous owners. I don't know. Maybe AJ likes plants. I don't know. I did also spare us from having to watch me rearrange plants for like 20 minutes straight. Another thing that is a pain in the butt when I do a speed build style video like this is usually when I'm building, I'm also watching something. In this case, I actually was watching, I decided to rewatch in full the Stranger Things on Netflix, that show Stranger Things. I've watched it already, but it's kind of nice watching something like consecutively all the way through. You kind of notice things better. But so it's pretty much me constantly having to cut out sections of me just like holding a couch in one spot for like 20 minutes while I'm watching this other screen. So, but I think I did a pretty good job making things not look like I'm stopping every 5 minutes. Yeah. So I think, so this is the point where I actually finally decide on a window, which is a pretty, special occasion. I've just done these boring, plain, square white windows, but I actually really like combining like those weird tall windows that generally, I mean, not tall ones, like the small high ones that I generally would only use like in a bathroom, but it's kind of neat to try to use them elsewhere. They kind of combine well with the tall windows. I like that combination. And here I decided to screw around with that again for some reason. Another situation where I regret changing something in after watching it. I would have liked to keep that other fence. Another thing to note, that TV, I don't know if you noticed that TV I just pulled out of the catalog. That was like 3 stacked on. That was another thing from that conversion site I was mentioning. That is my favorite object that I have in the game. I think it is so cool, and I use it in my intro thing. I'd like to put it in a Sims house, and I haven't really picked the right one, and the only family I can really think of is the Curious Boys. I feel like it would be something like Laszlo rigged up. He went to the junkyard and got a bunch of stuff and made himself a triple TV. This is the movie posters that I mentioned doing. I ended up choosing Friday the 13th and Carrie, which I just happened to choose because I liked how they looked and they didn't show Sims 4 Sims that much. Although I didn't realize I had kind of chosen one that fit the theme, since everything's a little bit slightly 70s inspired. I believe both those movies, I know Carrie I think is a 70s movie, but I think Friday the 13th is maybe a late 70s, early 80s. I don't remember when the first one came out, but I'm back trying to... Originally, when I first tried to set up this kitchen area, I actually gave up, or this dining area. But I finally figured it out. Sometimes you just gotta like walk away and come back later. So this is kind of a study area that I made. And again, I kept this one very simple. And my thought was that maybe when AJ first moved in here, this was kind of empty. And this was the place that he sort of filled in on his own. So it kind of just looks like he went and bought some stuff from IKEA and threw it in there. Except for maybe the bookcase that I end up putting in there. That looks like maybe it could have already been there because I put it in that little nook in the room. But yeah, that one there. It kind of looks like it's, when it gets put in a small spot like that, it looks like it's built into the wall anyway. That's kind of neat. This music that's playing right now is the Sims 1 rap station. Sims 1 music is very good. I like it a lot. I almost like it more than the other games. Sims 2's got some really good stuff, but I don't know. This bedroom I had a hard time with too. I really liked this wall that I had originally thrown there. Just sometimes when I'm like working on another area of the house, I'll find like a wallpaper. I'm like, oh, that's really cool, but I can't use it here. I'm gonna go throw it over there. And then I wait until later when I go back and I say, oh, I don't want to use that. And I just cover it up. That's what I ended up doing here. So I ended up using just a plain Maxis wall, not a custom one. I was experimenting with the rug. I really like this pattern. I ended up using it on this rug out here, which I like much better. I think that's pretty nice. I ended up using this hideous beige rug that I do not know why I chose in retrospect once again. I don't like it. But you know what? Maybe it's good for something to be a little ugly. It's okay. It doesn't have to be, everything doesn't have to be perfect. You know? Maybe AJ doesn't like it either. He's like, man, I gotta save up money to change this rug. But then it's just like, whatever, it just is there and it works. I also found, I was finding wall hangings for above his bed. And I found that I had these weird recolors of this poster, or this painting. Of like these, they're all like sci-fi things. And I found a dinosaur one. I thought that was perfect for some reason. Apparently, you know, AJ knows that that's what the ladies want, is, you know, a man with dinosaur painting above his bed. A realistic oil painting of dinosaurs on above his bed. That's what they really want. Bathrooms are bathrooms. I will say I'm glad I ended up I ended up changing the floor and walling of this one because it's hard to look at. Also, there's a lot of mirrors to choose from. Fun fact. Ah, there you go. Doing a thing. This is a Sims 4 conversion, this wall is, and I use it quite a lot. I do like it. Occasionally, Sims 4 things work very well in The Sims 2, and sometimes they really don't. It's kind of hit or miss. In contrast, I find The Sims 3 conversions pretty much always work. They have a little bit of a more realism style to them. I don't know. The Sims 4 stylized stuff doesn't always work. But one of my favorite things about bathrooms is doing all the little things, like the stuff, the toilet paper and the little hygiene products. Because, like, what else you put in the bathroom? You just fill it with stuff. So I was putting some blinds in this room, and then I realized in editing I didn't put blinds in any other rooms. And it bothers me. I'm probably going to do that when I play it. We'll play this a lot. We will be playing next time we play this world, this series, whatever. So this back porch finally in this phase finally evolved to its final I don't know what I'm saying, final destination. I don't know, that went off the rails real quick. But actually I really love the thing that I'm using that like cuts the wall against the stairway. It's called like a stair wall fix. I think that's the official name of it, and it's very useful. But again, it doesn't have enough recolors. Sometimes it doesn't match the stairs very well, and it's really annoying. I'm gonna have to learn how to recolor that too, I guess. So this up here, see, originally, as you can see, I wanted to do like a little lounge. I was like, that's too fancy. AJ wouldn't do that. I mean, maybe the last owner could have had that, or maybe not. I ended up giving him this cool little hammock, which I don't ever use enough. Like, it's a neat little thing, and I don't use it. But so I gave him that, and see, I was like, okay, I want a bar, or we can play games. No, AJ's too boring. He doesn't like games. He wants to watch a movie and then sleep in his hammock. I did put music out here. Ended up putting a little grill, too. Also, I don't know. I don't know what I was about to say. I lost it. I just kind of tried to put stuff up here that didn't necessarily match. Maybe it was more stuff that AJ kind of plopped up here himself, you know? I like this little tiki. It looked like a little, I don't know, some cheap yard furniture you'd buy somewhere. So, and then, oh yeah, in the basement. Basement's a weird place in this house. It's nice that it has one. It's kind of it's unique in that way that it has this extra space, but at this point I didn't really need it. So I kind of just put some junk. Put some like this old sofa, and I have these custom boxes that you'll see me use. It was also a good place to put the little utilities box. It's a very good place for that, actually. This may one day turn into a nursery, which seems a little dark for a nursery. I also hope that radiator is not in the way of that chair I put it behind. So here we are. There's Sandy Broody going by. We're going to do a little tour here. If you're unfamiliar with this series, if you're watching this video and you're not familiar with the Strange View series, the reason that Sandy Broody is walking through Strangetown is because it is a mega hood with Pleasant View and Strangetown combined. So that's why the icon herself, Sandy Broody, is wandering in the sands of Strangetown. AJ's really getting into that movie. Yeah, let's put a cactus in there. But one thing that's also, this is I noticed I could see the Curious Boy Tower, which is very important, of course. Um, but I keep getting, whenever Sims Welcome to the Neighborhood, there's a pop-up in the corner just now that had said that like neighbors came to visit. And you'll notice when I zoom past them in a second, they're both like complete randoms that I don't know why they're inviting me to the neighborhood, and I don't know why they're here. Like they're not my neighbors. Who are you? They're like scammers trying to take my money or something. I don't know what's going on. Okay, that's the end. Hope you liked. Bye.